Royal Communications Incorporated, good afternoon and welcome to this Newsman 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Tuesday, June 17, 2025, and I'm Newton to represent you. Stories following this afternoon. President Joseph Walker suspends LTA acting chair of the Board of Commissioners, Abdullah Kamara, for grave corruption allegations. Forward him for full investigation at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Criminal Court 8 assumes jurisdiction in capital building arson case involving former House Speaker Funati Kufa and four other representatives. Economic Community of West African States Parliament commences 5-day delocalized sitting in Monrovia to evaluate investment strategies and job creation across member states. As head of Liberia dedication to ECOWAS, Evan Snow and Senate Pro Tem Yoblikaka Lawrence emphasized Liberia's dedication to regional integration and democratic governance. Away from Liberia, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has ordered security agencies to bring an end to the wave of killings in central Benue State. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has signed into law an amendment that will allow once again civilians to be tried in a military court under certain circumstances. These, plus many more, our new bulletin international developments are all packaged. We'll take a very short break to be right back. Thanks for rejoining us. At this juncture, we cross over to Sam Andrews with the news bulletin.
At long last, President Joseph Walker has suspended Liberia Telecommunications Authority acting chairman of the Board of Commissioners, Abdullah Kamara, and forwarded him to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission for full-scale investigation. According to an executive mansion released issued Monday, the decision follows a report from the General Auditing Commission, which highlights various allegations of corruption and financial mismanagement. The release added that Kamara is linked to grave financial irregularities and misconduct during his tenure as Chief Executive Officer of Tama Corporation, particularly regarding the transactions involving public funds. President Walker, in his letter of suspension, expressed his commitment to transparency and accountability, noting that LTA acting chair of the Board of Commissioners is suspended without pay pending the outcome of a full and independent investigation by the country's Anti-Corruption Commission. President Walker at the same time challenged Abdullah Kamara to fully cooperate with the Anti-Corruption Commission and the Ministry of Justice and make himself available during the investigation. Criminal Court A has finally assumed jurisdiction over the case involving 5 lawmakers after they were transferred by the Monrovia City Court. The subordinate court Monday confirmed to our judicial correspondent of receiving the 5 lawmakers' criminal case. Although the lawmakers appear before the court with their wives as sureties, but representatives Funati Kofa, Abu Kamara, Dixon, Sibo, Jacob Debbie were turned over to their lawyers. The court decision to turn over the lawmakers to their lawyers was triggered by an application filed by prosecuting lawyers requesting the legal sufficiency of the four lawmakers' bond. The four lawmakers' transfer came as a result of the Moravia City Court June 13 decision by denying their application seeking to dismiss the police charges against them. The accused lawmakers' charges range from arson, criminal attempt to commit murder, criminal conspiracy, criminal mischief, and aggravated assault, among others. The lawmakers' appearance have set the stage for their indictment before the grand jury of Montserrat County consistent with law. In another development, the presiding judge of Civil Law Court B has warned magisterial officers against interference into cases. Judge Sakpo Domba, according to our judicial correspondent, said they, as judges, have received complaints from lawyers that some are in the habit of receiving money from lawyers to serve their notices of assignment. Judge Domba noted that bailiffs will often take money and refuse to serve the assignment. He says some bailiffs will go as far as conniving with lawyers and party litigants to make false returns to court, warning that such act must stop. He stressed that they will not hesitate to punish any magisterial officer who was caught engaging in such act. The Liberia National Police Grand Bassa County Detachment has arrested at least 6 persons who are accused of undermining ArcelorMittal Liberia access to the railway. According to a report, between June 10th and 12th, some locals staged a protest on the railway which disrupted train operations of the giant steel company. The protesters placed their debris and initiated other forms of obstruction, removing several steel sleepers between kilometers 6 and 10. The West African Regional Organization, ECOWAS, has begun a 5-day meeting aimed at delocalizing certain of the Joint Committee on Administration, Finance, Macroeconomic Policy, Public Accounts, Industry, and Private Sector. Speaking at the beginning of the meeting, the pro tem of the Liberian Senate, Yombli Kanga Lawrence, cautioned the parliamentarians to be mindful of the broader vision of a stable, prosperous, and secure West Africa. Senator Lawrence said economic growth and peace are interrelated. By addressing unemployment, the region is not only investing in the economies, but investing in peace, dignity, and the future of youth in the West African region. In remarks, the chairperson or chairman of ECOWAS Parliament on the Joint Committee on Administration, Finance, Macroeconomic Policy, Public Accounts, Industry, and Private Sector, Ahagi Dabo, reaffirmed his committee's commitment to supporting the framework aimed at improving the economies and providing employment for young people in the region. At the same time, Broom County Senator, who is also head of the Liberian delegation to ECOWAS Parliament, Edwin Snow, has emphasized Liberia's honor in hosting the regional parliamentarian body, describing it as a testament to Liberia's continued dedication to regional integration and democratic governance. Speaking Monday when he welcomed members of ECOWAS Parliament to Liberia for the second delocalized session, Senator Snow said Liberia as a country was glad to host the West African lawmakers to address the effectiveness of ECOWAS investment policy as an instrument for the rising levels of unemployment in the sub-region. According to Senator Edwin Snow, the delocalized session organized by the Joint Committees on Administration, Finance, and Budget is aimed at critically evaluating how investment strategies adopted by the Economic Community of West African States and contributing to job creation and economic development across member states. A pro-female organization, Girls Alliance for Future Leadership said Liberia remains a hostile environment for raising the girl child. The coordinator of the alliance, Kadiatu Ba, disclosed that Liberian girl child faced the worst suffering of all forms of violence perpetrated against them around the world. She made the assertion Monday when she delivered a statement on behalf of girls at programs marking the observance of Day of the African Child organized by Girls Alliance for Future Leadership in Monrovia. According to her, girls as old as 7 years old are forced to send a butch or forced to undergo female genital mutilation in several parts of Liberia. Residents of Seitan have accused the Ministry of Public Works of causing severe flooding in the community by allegedly blocking a key drainage in the community. The residents have been raising urgent concerns over flooding, adding several of them are negatively impacted as a result of ongoing road construction by the Ministry of Public Works. Dozens of homes and properties in Seitan are increasingly at risk, something that has prompted their calls for swift intervention. According to the residents, the flooding began when contractors who are working on the road project under the Ministry of Public Works allegedly blocked a key drainage system in the community. The obstruction, according to them, disrupted natural flow of water, causing widespread flooding during rain season. The community members are now appealing told the government to immediately reopen the blocked waterways, calling for timely action to prevent further damaging of their properties. The European Union and the Liberian government have signed a 25 million financing agreement aimed at revitalizing Liberia's private sector. The agreement, signed under the EU UNDC Global Europe Framework, mark the beginning of a 4-year development initiative titled Private Sector Development in Liberia, DC Africa Act 6443-1. It is expected to run from 2025 to 2039 and will focus on targeted support to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises with strategic emphasis on value chain in cassava fisheries and food processing. The ceremony took place at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning Monday in Monrovia. EU Ambassador to Liberia, Nonan Deprez, and Finance and Development Planning Minister Augustin Gwangafwan presided over the event, calling it a milestone in Liberia-EU relation and a catalyst for sustainable economic transformation. The founder and chief executive officer of Farmet Consultants, Liberia Incorporated, and managing partner of Pharmacare USA, Dr. Rupert Marshall, has emphasized an urgent need for reinforcing the country healthcare system with key focus on how medications are obtained, stored, and dispensed. Speaking Monday on King's FM, Dr. Marshall outlined his team vision, stating that they intend to bring global pharmaceutical standards to West Africa, especially Liberia. He noted that currently, Farmed has built a first-class pharmaceutical distribution and consultancy firm in the country that is ensuring access to safe, affordable, and effective medication while improving the broader healthcare delivery system. Dr. Rupert Marshall said the company actively partnering with hospitals, clinics, pharmacies, and independent healthcare providers to establish a trusted distribution network critical in a country still struggling with counterfeit medications and treatment inconsistencies. The Farmed's chief executive officer stressed that while Liberia remains the company's primary focus, Farmed is currently operating in the following West African countries: Gambia, Ethiopia, and Somalia as part of the broader Pan-African mission to train African pharmacists and healthcare professionals. The Ministry of Gender, Children, and Social Protection has launched an intervention following a viral video showing school-aged children engaging in rock crushing in the rock crusher community. The video footage, which circulated widely on social media, captured children performing hard labor during school hours in an effort to support their families. The video sparked public outrage, with many Liberians describing it as deeply disturbing and a violation of children's rights to education and social protection. Liberians also questioned President Boakai's 2023 campaign promise to remove children from the streets and ensure access to quality education, citing ongoing plight of street children across Liberia. They also labeled the president's campaign message as a political tool, pointing to the persistent presence of children in street vending, begging, and labor as evidence of unmet promises. However, some political pundits describe the president's campaign statement as a tool used for political gains, as many Liberian children are leveraging in the streets, selling and begging for survival. And the Liberian government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has relaunched the Fangada Dam project in Kolahun District, Lofa County. The initiative, according to the marks the second phase of the dam development and is part of the government's arrest agenda, valued at 600,000 United States dollars. Speaking at the relaunch ceremony over the weekend, the Minister of Agriculture, Dr. Alexander Nuta, underscored the critical role of agriculture in enhancing food security and economic growth in Liberia. He called on residents, particularly the youth in Kolahun district, to actively participate in the project to ensure Lofa County regains its status as the breadbasket of Liberia. According to him, Lofa County is a fertile land for agriculture activities to create wealth and an avenue for food production for the country. He added that beyond increasing food production, the project will also generate seasonal employment, especially for students and young people during school days.
Sam, aren't you with the news bulletin? The news bulletin is a regular feature here on King's News Bro. But if you just joined, also reminded, listening to King's News Bro, the 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Today is Tuesday, June 17, 2025, and I'm Newton to be presenting. Stories we following this afternoon. President Joseph Walker suspends LT8 acting chair of the Board of Commissioners, Abdullah Kamara, for grave corruption allegations, forward him to full investigation at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Criminal Court 8 assumes jurisdiction in Capitol Building arson case involving former House Speaker Funati Kofa and 4 other representatives. Economic Community of West African States Parliament commences 5-day delocalizing sitting in Monrovia to evaluate investment strategies and job creation across member states ahead of Liberia's dedication to ECOWAS. Edwin Snow and Senate Pro Tem Yomli Kanka Lawrence emphasized Liberia's dedication to regional integration and democratic governance. Away from Liberia, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has ordered security agencies to bring an end to the wave of killings in the central Benue state. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has signed into law an amendment that will allow once again civilians to be tried in a military court under certain circumstances. These are stories we follow here this afternoon on King's News. But we'll take another break and we'll come back. We'll bring you the voices of the newsmakers. Thanks for rejoining us. On our first development here this afternoon, at long last, President Joseph Boakai has suspended Liberia Telecommunications Authority acting chairman of the Board of Commissioners, Adulat Kamara, and forwarded him to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission for full and independent investigation. According to an executive mansion release issued Monday, the decision follows a report from the General Auditing Commission, which highlights serious allegations of corruption and financial mismanagement. The release added that Kamara is linked to grave financial irregularities and misconduct during his tenure as Chief Executive Officer of Taman Corporation, particularly regarding transactions involving public funds. We'll bring you that asset in our subsequent newscast. The West African Regional Organization ECOWAS has begun a five-day meeting aimed at delocalizing sitting of the Joint Committee on Administration, Finance, Macroeconomic Policy, Public Accounts, Industry, and Private Sector. Speaking at the beginning of the meeting, the pro tem of the Lebanon Senate, Yomblikanka Lawrence, cautioned the parliamentarians to be mindful of the broader vision of a stable, prosperous, and secure West Africa. Senator Lawrence said economic growth and peace are interrelated. By addressing unemployment and region is not only investing in the economies, but investing in peace, dignity, and the future of youth in the West African region.
As we gather here to deliberate on how to make investment a powerful tool for job creation, let us also remain mindful of the broader vision of a stable, prosperous, and secure West Africa. Economic growth and peace are intertwined. By addressing unemployment, we are not only investing in our economies, but we are also investing in peace, in dignity, and the future of our young people. I'm confident that this joint committee meeting will produce actionable insights and pave the way for a more effective implementation of the ECOWAS investment policy. Let us seize this opportunity to strengthen synergies between national and regional institutions, foster meaningful public-private dialogue, and promote inclusive economic policies that leave no one behind. This joint committee meeting touches the very core of our regional challenges. With youth unemployment in West Africa reaching some of the highest levels globally, this gathering presents a crucial platform to examine the gaps in our investment frameworks and, more importantly, to align strategies that can meaningfully address joblessness, poverty, and migration pressures. The ECOWAS Investment Policy, EIP, offers both a vision and a pathway toward inclusive economic growth through improved investment climates, enhanced human capital, and greater private sector participation. For Liberia, this theme resonates strongly with our national priorities. Our government, with active legislative support, has embarked on reforms to attract both domestic and foreign investment. We have prioritized legal frameworks that enhance transparency, reduce bureaucratic hurdles, and encourage innovation. The legislature is currently reviewing bills that aim to bolster the private sector, particularly small and medium enterprises, SMEs, recognizing their vital role in employment generation. We are also pushing for increased budgetary support for technical and vocational education to better equip our youth for the demands of the labor market.
In remarks, the chairman of the ECOWAS Parliament on the Joint Committee on Administration, Finance, Macroeconomic Policy, Public Accounts, Industry, and Private Sector, Alhaji Dabo, reaffirmed his commitment in supporting the framework aimed at improving the economies and providing employment for young people in West Africa. The meeting honored the theme assessing the effectiveness of the ECOWAS investment policy as an instrument for addressing the rising levels of unemployment in the sub-region, brought together lawmakers from all ECOWAS member states.
Let me take this moment to reaffirm our committee's unwavering commitment to supporting policy frameworks that deliver real employment outcomes. We are here to listen, to learn, and to lead the charge for reforms that ensure that investment is more impactful in the lives of our community citizens. I will urge participants to engage openly and constructively. Let us use this platform to deliberate proper recommendations that will help attract quality investments, drive innovations, and ensure job creation in our region. As we gather here in Monrovia today to begin a 5-day engagement on the selected team and the sub-teams, let us reflect together of the unique and pressing challenges that continue to confront our region, particularly the issue of unemployment and the urgent need to harness the opportunities of the ECOWAS investment policy to address unemployment in our region. Honorable members, the critical issue for the consideration during this meeting is not only about the need for investment. How do we also leverage the ECOWAS investment policy to produce concrete benefits for our people? That is especially in the forms of decent, sustainable jobs. The ECOWAS investment policy adopted to foster a harmonized and transparent investment environment across West Africa, provides an important framework to attract private capital, stimulate interregional trade, and promote inclusive economic transformation. However, this policy must now go further from aspiration to implementation, from growth to inclusive development, from investment attraction to job creation. As a regional parliament, our role is to ensure that the implementation of this policy reflects national priorities, responds to the needs of our citizens, and aligns with our regional integration goals.
He's a chairman on ECOWAS Parliament on the Joint Committee on Administration, Finance, Macroeconomic Policy, Public Accounts, Industry and Private Sector, Alaji Dabo. They are speaking earlier. You heard the voice of Senate Pro Tem Yombli Kanka Lawrence. At the same time, Bomi County Senator and head of the Liberian delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament, Edwin Snow, has emphasized Liberia's honor in hosting the regional parliamentary body, describing it as a testament to the country's continual dedication to regional integration and democratic governance. Speaking Monday when he officially welcomed members of the ECOWAS Parliament to Liberia for the localized section, Senator Snow said Liberia as a country is glad to host West African lawmakers to address assessing and effectiveness of the ECOWAS investment policy as an instrument for addressing the rising levels of unemployment in the sub-region.
As head of the Liberian delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament, it is both an honor and a privilege to receive this distinguished gathering of our Nigerian policymakers and regional stakeholders. We are pleased to host this critical joint committee meeting, and we hope the state of Liberia will be rewarding favorable as the work comes on tables. Liberia stands as a vibrant hub for commerce and culture. It is here that the Liberian people go for their warm reception and hospitality. We want to take this time to welcome you to our great city of Monrovia. As we open this meeting, we do so at a time of great national pride. Just recently, Liberia was elected to the prestigious position of the young permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. This is not only for Liberia, but for ECOWAS and Africa as a whole. This indeed is the second time that Liberia is sitting on such a prestigious seat at the global stage.
He's the Liberian head of dedication to the ECOWAS Parliament, Bomi County Senator Edwin Snowden speaking. The founder and chief executive officer of the Farmed Consultants, Liberian Incorporated, and managing partner of Farman Kia USA, Dr. Raphael Mashir, has emphasized an urgent need of reforming the country healthcare system with key focus on how medications are obtained, stored, and dispensed. Speaking Monday to King's FM, Dr. Mashad outlined his team vision, stating that they intend to bring global pharmaceutical standards to West Africa, especially Liberia. He noted that currently, farmers has built a first-class pharmaceutical distribution and consultancy firm in the country that is ensuring access to safe, affordable, and effective medications while improving the broader healthcare delivery system.
So our mission here in Liberia is to develop a first-class pharmaceutical and consultancy firm. Okay. Where we can distribute high-quality medications and medical supplies and partner with hospitals, clinics, pharmacies, drugstores, and other healthcare providers in just providing quality medications and just adding to improve the healthcare delivery system here in Liberia. $1 billion market globally. Okay, just that unfortunately it affects developing countries like ours the most. So a lot of all the fake and counterfeit drugs that are in the world globally, about 42% is coming to the African market, and that is also affecting the Liberian market.
Dr. Rubio also said the company actively partnering with hospitals, clinics, pharmacies, and independent healthcare providers to establish a trusted distribution network critical in the country, still struggling with counterfeit medications and treatment inconsistencies. The Farmers Executive Director Officer stressed that while Liberia remains the company's primary focus, Farmers is currently operating in the following countries, to include Gambia, Ethiopia, and Somalia, as part of the broader Pan-African mission led by the U.S. trained African pharmacists and healthcare professionals.
The cost of using unsafe medication costs globally over $40 million globally a year to treat the effects of unsafe medications out there. So it takes all of us, not just the government, the different entities, but the regular citizens. We all have to do our due diligence and not just go to the pharmacy and tick a box and say, hey, I need this medication, but know why you're taking the medication. What are the side effects, how to take it, and we have to find a ways of providing outcomes. And that's one thing we pride ourselves here in PharmEd, like Grace said, as our retail managers, that we follow up on our clients, see how they're taking the medications, how they're feeling, are they taking it the right way, okay, and what outcomes. So maybe if a medication is not working properly, so now we can advocate for that patient, which means that we can reach out to their provider and say, hey, the medication you provided is not, having the desired effect or is having the wrong effect. Let's reevaluate the medication and let's see how we can give another alternative. I think one of the biggest problem is the collaboration between the healthcare provider, the patient, and the entity that's providing the medication. Okay. And that's why, we have the system in place to provide feedback. So, because when the patient leaves the hospital, the clinic, really being proud of this country and the advancement in healthcare, like with the monkeypox, right? Liberia has 0 deaths.
He's the founder and chief executive officer of the Farmet Consultants Liberia Incorporated, Raphael Macheda speaking. What if you just joining us with time half past the hour? A reminder, you're listening to King's News Broom, a 45 minutes news presentation about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Stories will follow this afternoon. President Joseph Walker suspends LTA acting chair of the Board of Commissioners, Abdullah Kamara, for grave corruption allegations. Forward him for full investigation at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Criminal Court aid assumes jurisdiction in Capitol Building arson case involving former Hospital Fonati Kofa and 4 other representatives. Economic Community of West African States Parliament commences 5-day delocalizing sitting in Monrovia to evaluate investment strategies and job creation across member states. As heir to Liberia dedication to ECOWAS, Edwin Snow and Senate Pro Tem Yombli Kanka Lawrence emphasized Liberia's dedication to regional integration and democratic governance. And away from Liberia, Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has ordered security agencies to bring an end to the wave of killings in the central state. Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has signed into law an amendment that will allow once again civilians to be tried in the military court under certain circumstances. We'll take another short break. When we come back, we'll bring in more voices. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has launched an intervention following a viral video showing school-aged children engaged in rock crushing in the rock crusher community. The video footage, which circulated widely on social media, captured children performing hard labor during school hours in an effort to support their families. The video has sparked public outrage, with many Liberians describing it as a deeply disturbing and a violation of children's rights to education and social protection. Meanwhile, Liberians have also questioned President Joseph Boakar's 2023 campaign promise to remove children from the streets and ensure access to quality education, citing the ongoing plight of street children across the country. They also label the president's campaign message as a political tool, pointing to the persistent presence of children in street vending, begging, and labor as evidence of unmet promises. However, political pundits have described the Liberian leader's campaign statement as a tool used for political gains, as many Liberian children are leveraging in the streets, selling and begging for survival. Speaking with journalists over the weekend, the rock crusher community parents of the affected children attributed the situation to lack of support to enable their children enrolled in school.
We will not allow small children to tell market when they should be in school. They should be in school. We will not allow those young ladies to go in the street whole day yourself. The money you make can't even buy rice. We can't do it. We want to put dignity on our people. And that's why we're here. That's the mission we have. And I can assure you, if you check your calendar, it's exactly 4 months from today. Today is the 10th, right? When is the election? You start checking. 4 months to the date. After 4 months, you will see a new Liberia coming up. You see a Liberia that will...
The reason you see them pausing this morning is all because of the rain and the weather is cold. But all our children here, as you can see, everybody got their tools here. They pause from the morning to the evening. This is why we are hoping for, and this is our prayer, and we know that our prayer will be answered.
Some parents are speaking. You heard the voice of the Liberian President Joseph Boakai. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has officially relaunched the Fangoda Dam project in Kolahom District, Lofa County. The initiative, which is valued at over US $600,000, according to the marks of the second